As we move into Cybertruck Day on the 30th, you can see that Tesla already has a ton of big money buying on the option side. $168 million worth of calls today. I'm currently holding calls. I have December 15th, $237.50 calls, meaning that I believe Tesla will increase in price pretty drastically in the next week or so. I have over $165 million in confirmed calls that came through today, which I'm going to further explain in this video. I stated here as well on my X, which you guys should be following to get access to my trades. I said the point of control is a key support level here. Symmetrical triangle is showing a tight price action as we move into Cybertruck Day. So let's look at a chart here. For those of you who don't know how to read a chart, I just want you to look at the overall movement of the candlesticks and looking at our overall price action. You can see that obviously we sold off after earnings as of recent. We bounced down here to lows of $195 and we've moved our way back up over the past couple of weeks. And we actually have a position in our trading bot right now as we are consolidating between this resistance and support level. So what this pattern is called is a symmetrical triangle. And the reason that it's called a symmetrical triangle is because we're moving our way down in a resistance from highs, making lower highs until we're eventually at a fixed point. And we also have supports coming up, making higher lows to that same fixed point. The other thing that's very important here is going to be all of the volume that's sitting here at $235 to $232. This horizontal chart, the blue one to your right, this is going to show you at what levels big money is buying and selling. And it's very important because this is going to actually show you where the major support levels and resistance levels will be placed. So as you can see right now, it's very important that we hold this support level here from about 235 down to 232, which is why I did end up entering with calls today. And the most important thing is going to be the flow that came through today. I post over on my Twitter every single day, the Tesla flow. And if you guys are part of our Discord community, you get access to all of our flow, all of our trades, everything else. It's always going to be the second link in the description. If you guys want to trade with us every single day, that's the way that you do it. But I always post all of the unusual flow for the day. And Tesla was actually the highest when it comes to confirmed bullish flow. At the bottom left side of your screen, you're going to be able to see a chart on black box stocks. And when we say flow, all that we mean is options activity. And the reason that we say unusual options activity is because the pattern in which the person, usually the hedge fund, is buying is very unusual. For instance, if every single week you were to add to a long position that expired in 2025, that would not be unusual. But when we see a hedge fund come in with maybe $10-20 million in very rapid succession, meaning that they're buying back to back to back, and they don't even care what price they pay for it, they're just hitting the market order button every single time, that is triggering to us. If you had to spot it, that's going to show you where the money's going to be going, and usually that's going to be where your big trades are going to be headed. As we see consolidation, as we are on Tesla right now, to see this type of buying coming in today is very important. And $168 million is a ton of money. Now, something that a lot of people say to me is, well, listen, I don't understand it. If there's so much money coming into Tesla here, you're telling me it's $168 million in calls, how come Tesla's flat? And the answer to that is because the options market does not affect the underlying stock. So an option is a derivative, and it means that if I were to go out and buy $100 million worth of calls on the options market, it would have no effect on what happens to Tesla stock itself. So that's what makes it unusual, is that as the stock is sitting sideways, holding on a support, trending up, moving into Cybertruck Day, and we see this type of unusual purchasing on the call side to the bottom left side of your screen, we know overall that this is something that we need to take into account. It of course does not mean that we should be entering calls with everything that we have at this moment, but it's definitely another piece of information that we can use when it comes to actually planning out a potential position. When we look at the setup here on the 65-minute chart, and then we zoom out as well to the daily chart, you're going to see that it looks like we will probably see Tesla continue to rally. Now, the one thing I want you to understand is that we have bounced off of this 200 SMA. We had this inverted head and shoulders that formed, and now we're pushing up. We talked last week about this potential rejection here on the 50 SMA. Far that is panning out. As you saw on the 65-minute chart, we have this resistance level right along here, as well as our support level, which is going to be the bottom of our symmetrical triangle. Now, something that's important to note as well is going to be the low area of volume on the volume profile from 245 all the way down to about $205. It is very easy for us to move within these levels, so it means that we need to be making sure that if we break 230 and we start to get into our stop loss range, that we're going to be able to cut the position very quickly. Because while I do think we will see Tesla continue to rally, you have to understand that we are still selling off from this massive drop. So if we were to actually come in here and do a Fibonacci pull, and we pulled from this swing high down to this swing low, you can see that we're starting to move into that golden zone. So if Tesla was going to reject somewhere, it's going to be around this level. So the fact is we have to have a tight stop somewhere here. So what I personally think is probably going to happen is I think we're going to see Tesla probably push and rally into the event up to about 245 in the next couple of days. And I do think that I will be selling my calls much before. If you guys want to know when I sell, go follow me on X or just go join our Discord community because you'll get access to it there. But overall, once we move up into that 245 level, I'm going to sell the news. I'm going to get out of the trade. If it means that it continues to rip after the Cybertruck event up to like 260, then whatever. But for me, I do think that we will probably continue to run, and I will be closing this definitely before the event, unless I see some sort of other information, like we see some more buying coming in or something like that, in which I will update my decision with you guys here on this channel. Now, the very last thing I want to talk about is going to be the weekly chart, because we've been talking about this bigger time frame for a while now, and we did end up bouncing right off of this 200 SMA as expected in the past couple of weeks. Now, the one thing to note here though is going to be that we actually rejected last week on the 11 SMA, and now we're testing this level again. So we just have to make sure that we don't reject and close under 230. If we close under 230 this week, that's when we'll make the pullback down to 210 and 220. So this week will be important, and we'll continue to monitor the situation as things go on. Hope this video was helpful, guys. Thank you for all the support. Go check out our Discord community if you want to trade with me every single day. We do have a Black Friday sale that is extended until midnight tonight. You guys can join for 80% off your first month. In the past couple of weeks, I'm up almost $75,000. Today, I'm down about $7,000. I had a pretty bad day today, but go check it out, guys. Your first month is 80% off. I promise you it is worth it. Thank you for all the support. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.